If I let this go, you can't tell nobody. I'm talking about nobody. I hope you're responsible. Oh, I gotta watch my back, 'cause I'm not just anybody. If I let this go, you can't tell nobody. I'm talking about nobody. I hope you're responsible. Oh, I gotta watch my back. Oh, I gotta watch my back, 'cause I'm not just anybody. I'm not just anybody.
Hey guys, my name is elisaamarixoxo and I'm back with another video. So today I kind of want to do another story time, and I know y'all probably getting tired of me for doing a bunch of story times. I just want to talk about these things because a lot of story times I'm doing are things that have been happening over the course of a couple of years, but they're things that some people, whether people watch the video or not, some of it was like real life gossip, like in real life it was gossip or things that people had questions about. So I kind of want to do all these story times first so y'all can know before I like try to do something more fun or whatever and get into more fun light-hearted content. And you know, again, this is all for fun, just because I like doing stuff like this. It's like one of my hobbies type thing. But like, you know, before I get into stuff that's more fun, I do want to clear up, you know, some of the stories and rumors, things people kind of want to know about that's happened in real life, you know, that I've never actually really addressed over the years. But and just in general. So yeah, I did do this video for anyone who cares, who wants to watch it. You can see it and watch it if you ever had a question about this. So yeah, I'm doing a story time today. This story time is a little scandalous.
Ooh, scandalous!
And it's different. It's very different, and it's like a little bit scandalous. But I do want to tell a story. So basically, this story time is, and don't judge me, y'all. Please do not judge me. I am not a bad person. This is something that was like really weird, like a very weird situation, but I do want to talk about it. So I'm gonna get into it. So this is the story time of the time I got proposed to by a married man. Who was separated from his wife, but also had a baby on the way with his side chick.
What?
That ruined his marriage, if that makes sense. And I know y'all like, that's so messy. Like, why are you even telling this story? I feel like because a lot of people used to get jealous of me for dating him or like hanging out with him or whatever. And a lot of people still get jealous of me for dating him, so I was hanging out, whatever. They still get jealous of me for it because he was actually like very good looking. He was super good looking, but like in a way that's different. Like he was a light-skinned black guy with these pretty piercing blue eyes, and they were like really pure blue and piercing. So like, you know, are just really nice. So everybody kind of always would be jealous of me for dating him or for him liking me romantically, publicly. And just like things like that, like people always would get so jealous of me for it. And it was like really weird because like, I don't know, I feel like someone almost tried to like, I don't know, like people was almost wanting to fight me for this, but he didn't really like them. Like he only liked me, and then he liked his wife, and then that's it really. Like he only liked us two. I mean, I feel like he had a soft spot for his side chick, but who had a baby on the way, so now she's his baby mom. But he really just mostly like us two because I got proposed to, and he's like the marrying type. He was a good man. He was definitely the marrying type. But yeah, so I know he did like me too, but we'll get into the story. Like, let's get into the story so y'all can know, one, I am not a messy person. I really want to address this because a lot of people know, like back when I went to school, this basically happened right after I got attacked by my stalker. And I ended up at, you know, he was the only man that was actually really kind to me. So me and him got a little bit closer there, and you know, he's one of the only guys that was on my social media back then. People do know that I hung out with him, or we kind of, you know, spent time together romantically for a season. I did kind of want to address it. But basically, this is what happened. So okay, I get attacked by my stalker, like I told y'all in the previous videos. Then I don't know, it was a season where like I kind of like wanted to be a hoe, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to be a hoe. Like I almost on the hoe list. I don't think it was that year. I don't know if it was a year after that or if it was that year, but I was almost on the hoe list because I just kind of wanted to be a hoe. Like my stalker, he was being real weird. Like he was like saying stuff like, you know, I cheated on my real husband with him, like he's crazy, you know, stuff like that. I'm like, I thought I was single. I was struggling with my faith when I was spending time with you. I didn't intend to hurt, you know, hurt or cheat, you know, cheat on somebody, quote unquote. And he was just saying stuff like that, like I cheated on my real husband, kind of broke, you know, not being celibate by spending time with him romantically. And later on, he tried to, you know, connect to me that way. It was really weird. It was weird. So he said stuff like that. He also was saying like, he basically said that I cheated on my real husband, but he also said something else. I'm trying to remember what he said. He said something weird. What else was it? I can't remember, y'all. I can't remember. It was stuff that was weird. Oh, he was going to lie and say I did that on purpose, that I purposely told him that he could be in a position of my husband without actually me telling him that, and that I purposely knew I had a husband, or quote unquote, and that I tried to, you know, was still messing with him or dealing with him. So I got mad. So I'm like, why are you worried about something like that? Like, don't be being messy. You know I did not say that to you. You know I did not say, oh, I'm going to cheat on my husband with you. That's when I'm defiling somebody on purpose and all that stuff. I never told him I wanted to cheat on my husband with him, and I didn't have one at the time. Like, I was really struggling with my faith at the time. I was like, why would you say something like that? I hate messy ass men, and everybody's messy. Like, he's messy. The guy I'm talking about right now, he's kind of messy too, but he hadn't really said in real life. Like, he barely did stuff like that. Like, he did stuff like that, like a little bit. Like, I don't know. I'll explain to y'all like why I feel like he's a little bit messy too, but he's really messy for that. Like, I'm like, oh, don't be like that. Like, you know, these men be acting feminine nowadays. Like, that's something feminine to say, like, oh, I'm gonna tell your, you know, your man this, and that. Like, and that's not true. I never told him I was in love with him. I never told him I wanted to be with him forever. I always told him, like, don't attach yourself to me without permission. I don't want anything long term. I can't see myself being in a relationship with you. It's just all this crazy stuff. Like, I would always say stuff like that, and never let him have sex with me without a condom, or have his penis around me out without a condom. Never let him come inside me. And I'm scared of him because I think he's an Ishmael, and Ishmaels be stealing scriptures, and they also try to orchestrate themselves to look like Isaacs and steal the blessings of an Isaac without, if y'all know what I'm talking about, like I was talking about a little bit in my spiritual series, my faith talk video, so y'all go watch that too. I'll leave the link in the bio so y'all can watch it. But I was talking about stuff like that in my spiritual series, like covenants and stuff like that, but I had to talk about like Isaacs and Ishmaels. But basically an Isaac would be a person that had an inheritance to their father, someone that's planned, someone within a child born within the marriage bond in a covenant or whatever, like I was telling y'all about. And an Ishmael is a child born. Right, outside of that covenant or marriage bond is an Ishmael child, which is a child that's like not really, it was born from sin, if that makes sense. So basically, I think he's like one of those, like he be trying to steal scriptures. He want to orchestrate things to look that way without them actually being that way. Like, you know, and it's really weird because I'm like the opposite. Like, if something's not, like, I hate liars and I'm not a good liar. So I like telling people things and kind of just getting things out and having a solid foundation. Like, I'm not really a person that cares to be lied on or to lie. So I'm just like not like that. So for me, I just hate liars. People like try to orchestrate things to be, you know, to be a certain way. But maybe I should have never been talking about him, or sorry, not talking about him, talking to him. So basically, let's get back to what was going on. So he started stalking me and being weird. And I had a season where I was a hoe and I was on the hoe list. And I kind of just started dating a bunch of people. I'm like, oh, he gonna try to say I defiled my husband on purpose. I'm about to defile him on purpose right now at the school. So I defiled him on purpose. I dated a bunch of men so he could be hurt and feel defiled on purpose, so he can learn a lesson from stuff like that. Like, don't ever in your life say that someone tried to defile somebody on purpose, or that, you know, like being messy like that, tried to twist and, you know, twist events to make it seem that way. So I definitely attacked him and I punished him for that. And I basically like was a hoe. Like, I dated a lot of people. I mean, he was being weird. He was stalking me at the time. So he was being weird, but like, I mean, that's a different story. Well, I don't want to tell no more stories about him, but like, you know, it's a different story. But basically, I tried to find my purpose. I was on the whole list. I was number 3 on the whole list. And yeah, I dated a bunch of people. I messed around with his friends. I messed around with guys he begged to be friends with. I did a lot of stuff to hurt him on purpose, so he could never say something like that, like, oh, you tried to defile your real husband for me, or cheated on somebody, you know, and he gonna be crying too. If he said stuff like that about me, he's going to be crying too. He's also going to be crying if he tried to take advantage of me being 17 and, you know, struggling with my faith and accidentally wanting to fit in inappropriately. So I was hanging out with him like an older man or whatever, etc. I never told him any of the things that he'd be lying, telling people, and that's just what I want to say. But long story short, after that, I had to see him being a hoe. Then I kind of like stopped doing that for whatever reason, and I kind of fell in the arms, or I met this guy. His name, I don't want to say his name. Let's say his name starts with like an F. Let's say his name starts with an F because I don't want to say his name. So let's call him F. So anyway, I met him outside at the school because I still was at the school. Again, I didn't leave the school after all that stuff happened I told y'all about, because I just like, I'm an overachiever and I like winning at things, you know, and I can't stand losing. Like, I hate losing. I'm very competitive that way. So I do not like losing at things. So it was hard for me to leave because I'm like, oh my God, I want to win, you know? Like, it was something that, it was hard for me to come to terms with the fact that something was unsuccessful that I wanted to do. So I had to later on get over that, etc. But I was there for a while still. I still stayed. You know, I was supposed to leave. I stayed. So I was outside and he was on the campus for some reason by the basketball courts. And he see me, he's like, oh, hey, little mama, like, come here. And I'm like, what? So he basically was like, say, come here. And he was like, come here. He said, come here, shorty, or whatever. In LA or in Cali, in the city, we say shorty. In the South, they'd be like shoddy or whatever. He said something like that. And I was like, what? He was like, I want to talk to you. Like, you're pretty. I want to get your number. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, he was kind of cute. Like, he was one of the best looking guys there. Light skin, black, blue eyes. Like, he was kind of cute, tall. So I was like, oh, okay. So I gave him my number. And this like in May. But I was like maybe 18, right? So I'm 18 years old in this May. So I get his number, we text. We text all the summer. I end up leaving, going back home, and we text like the whole summer or whatever. And we were just talking, and getting to know each other. But like, I can't tell y'all everything. And if people want to know this, does he like adult entertainment? Because I've said I like don't like men that like, you know, adult entertainment and strippers, like, you know, the strip club and stuff like that. Even if I've done it before, I don't like those type of men because I just don't like men with split attention. And I've only done it when I actually really needed the money. So that's like not the same, but like whatever. Do I like men like that? People want to know, does he go to those places? No, he does not actually go to strip clubs. It was really funny because I don't know, I think that season, I can't really tell y'all everything. It just was funny for a private reason, but he doesn't like strip clubs or stuff like that. He is the Marian type. I'll tell you like why he was the Marian type, but he is the Marian type. He's more so that type of person than a person that likes going out and dating random women and even going to strip clubs. And I just want to say that really quickly because people get confused, and it was funny because I think I almost was thinking about doing something in adult entertainment that summer, but I didn't tell him at all. Because I just don't want him to judge me, so I didn't tell him. And it was funny because it kind of reminded me that I wanted to tell some of y'all. Because people did think that, like, does he, like, you know, want to live a different type of lifestyle as pertaining to, you know, being around strippers and dating those type of people. He actually more the Marian type. He did not actually want to be around strippers in a strip club. So I just wanted to, like, make that clear. I like date these type of people. Anyway, so basically we text all summer. Then he's like, okay, when you come back, I'm going to pick you up from the airport or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever, right? I'm like, okay. Now I see him sowing seeds, like, oh, he's trying to be like, you know, a man in my life. Okay. Like I told y'all, I like men to do or whatever, like do stuff like that so we can look like we're in a relationship. Don't be just, you know, lying, saying this and that without it being that way, or just being weird, you know, because let's be mature, you know? So anyway, I'll get ready to go back to school, whatever. He picks me up from the airport. And he picks me up from the airport and he takes me back to his house in Georgia. Now, he was from the Midwest. He was born in the Midwest. He was born in Michigan, I think, like Flint, Michigan. Sorry. I'm saying it right. I hope I'm saying it right. Flint, Michigan. Anyway, he was born there. So he's from the Midwest, but his family's like partially from the South. They're like from Alabama, and then they're from Georgia. So his family's like partially from those two, but he had a family house in Georgia that basically was passed down from generation to generation or something like that. So he had a family house in Georgia, and basically he took me to the house or whatever. And he's like, oh, this is my house or whatever. And it was nice. So I was like, okay. Basically, it was nice. So I'm like, okay, cool, cool. And we're just hanging out, talking, and getting to know each other a little bit before we go, before I go back to school. So we're talking, and then I think he drives me back to school. Later on, after we talked and hung out for a little while, got to know each other, spent time with each other, whatever, he drives me back to school. Then after he drove me back to school, we kind of just started hanging out often, and he kind of really wanted me to be his girlfriend. So he kind of like spent time, trying to sow those type of seeds to me so I could see him that way by like opening up the doors for me. He took me out to eat. He always paid for food. He always wanted to spend time with me. He was always calling my phone, etc. So we kind of just built a reputation of just kind of always being with each other or around each other. I forget what year this was. I think I was 18. I know I was 18, 19, and then I was 19, 20, if that makes sense, when we hung out. Because we almost hung out for 2 years. So he was actually almost my full boyfriend because he proposed to me. I don't know. I get so weird talking about guys from the past because I just kind of feel like people are going to, kind of judge me. Like after that guy said that, like, I'm going to tell your real husband, the person you want to cross the altar with, that I wasn't faithful. But it's like I didn't know I was married, I don't think I'm married still either until I have a ring on my finger. So it's not me being unfaithful. I didn't know. So anyway, basically, so he asked me to be his girlfriend. Let's just be honest. So I'm gonna be honest. He did ask me to be his girlfriend within the first 2 months of us hanging out. And I was like, yes, that's what I like. That's what I like. I told y'all that, I have a 2-month rule. That's what I like. So I was like, okay. Then he asked me, then we hung out from 18, 19, then 19, 20. And we broke up when I was 20, I think. But, so I know we hung out for like those 2 years, but we were on and off though for 2 years. We were on and off. Yep, we were on and off. So basically, yeah, we had a lot of fun. And so we hung out, and his friends used to come to my house. So I had an apartment, and his friends used to come to my house or whatever. And then basically later on, how I found out he was married is that one of his friends, and he had a bunch of fake friends because he ended up dying or whatever, and his friend actually killed him. That's why I hate talking about him, because it was like a little bit scary because I was around his friends knew me, etc. And like for him to have almost died that way, like for them to try to have killed him, it just was crazy to me. And like, I could have died too. So that's why, I don't know, it was like really weird, if that makes sense. Well, actually, I'm trying to think about it. Like, hold on. I think I was a teenager when I met him, but I forget if I was 18 or 19. I don't remember exactly the dates. But, because I know it was the season I was on the whole list. Did I meet him after I was on the whole list? I know I had an apartment. But I know we were on and off because I didn't always have a car. And we were off when I didn't have a car. Then it was a season where I stayed with my friends when I first got back to school with these kids I used to hang out with. I had a lot of fake friends, so they were kind of semi-fake, but I'm trying to remember. But long story short, this is how I found out that he had a wife or whatever. And this was my reaction to it. I'm gonna tell y'all, because it's not what y'all think. Y'all think I was probably like a side chick. Like I probably was like, oh, I don't care about your wife. I want to be with you still, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what happened. So basically, I found out he has a wife, right? Because his friends used to, okay, let me tell you how old he was first. Let me tell y'all how old he was. He was like 27, 26, and I was like 19, 18, like 18, 19, like around that area. I forget if I was 18, 19, or if I was 19, 20. Because I know he forgot my birthday the first year, and I was so mad at him for that. Like, I did not talk to him. My birthday is in the beginning of school year. It's in September. So I know he forgot my birthday the first year we like kind of hung out. And I was pissed. Like, I was mad. I was not talking to him. And then he apologized to me or whatever. So I'm like, it was 2 years. I think I was 18, 19 that year. I was turning 19 when we were around each other. I know, yeah, so it was 19. I was turning 19 that year. So I was mad. I was like, oh, he did not tell me happy birthday. He forgot my birthday, whatever. But we had just met. Like, we had only been together for a couple weeks to like a month. So it was weird because it was like we had just got together. Like, he probably forgot, but it still was like, what? You forgot my birthday? I was like, I was mad. So I'm like, okay, whatever, So basically, I was like pissed about it, and then he apologized to me and he promised to make it up to me the following year, which he did do. He did surprise me for my birthday, but like he didn't surprise me because I asked for something. I hate talking about this because like, okay, basically he died because his friend robbed him. One of his friends robbed and killed him. You know, when street hitters be arguing and stuff and just be beefing and stuff like that, people be dying, and you know sometimes they want to kill the girlfriends too and the wives and all that stuff too. And it's kind of scary because like I didn't want to die, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember none of them. I didn't see no faces, nothing. Like, I do not remember them. So I hope like nobody tries to kill me. I don't have no money. He didn't buy me no possessions. Thank God I actually asked. And it's not that he was like nothing against him. I didn't ask for that. Like he said basically that year he forgot my birthday. He said, next year I'll buy you whatever you want for your birthday because I forgot your birthday. Whatever you want you can have, because he cared about me, right? So basically I was like, okay, I want a section at a club. And my next birthday I was turning 20. I was not turning 21. So he definitely bought my way into that club and bought me a section. So, you know, that's basically what I got for my birthday. I really just asked for stuff that was an experience more so than like a gift. Long story short, I'm kind of skipping past the story, but I did want to tell y'all a few pieces of, you know, story because I want to get the ages right. But anyway, so I think I was 18, 19 that year that he forgot my birthday, etc. But so anyway, I forgive him for that. That happened to you. So I forgave him for that. We still hang out. We're still boyfriend and girlfriend. We're still dating. And I don't know he's married right now, right? So I'm just sitting here mind my business. His friends, because his friends used to come over to my house, they tell me that he's married. No, they tell my friend, they tell this fake friend I used to have that used to be around all the time back then, that he's married. They're like, oh, go tell your friend that he's married. And I'll tell you why. One of the reasons why I call her a fake friend is going to be like later in the story. So they told her to tell me that he was married. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, oh, hell no. Like, sorry for my cursing, y'all, because I don't really curse like that. I was like, oh, heck no. This hitter got me fucked up. He got me messed up. I know he's not married, right? So he was married though, right? And he was really married, like legally married, like rings, marriage certificate, everything. So I was pissed and I cursed his ass out. I cursed him out. I told him, forget him, fuck him. I said all that stuff. I don't date married men. Fuck you. What the fuck? Like, no, don't talk to me ever again. I fucking hate you. Blah, blah, blah. And I told him, basically, I was telling him I'm basically done with him. I'll never talk to him again. And I kind of just cursed him out or whatever. And he's like, no, please. We're separated. We're divorced. Please. Like, he's crying, sending me text messages talking about he's divorced, he's sorry. And no, I'm like, I don't believe you. Fuck, you know, fuck kiddo. Like, I don't fucking believe you. No, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, please, please, please. Can you at least, and then I was like, no, right? Then he's like, can you at least let me come and get my PS5? You let me leave my PS5 in your house. And I'm like, PS5? I mean, I did let him and his friends play the PS5 in my living room once. So I'm like, okay, let me go in the living room, see if you got a PS5 in there. Okay, his PS5 is still here. So I'm like, okay, you can come get your PS5, but after that, you gotta go. Don't talk to me no more, nothing. So, or was it a PS5? It was a PlayStation. I don't know if it was a PlayStation 5 or if it just was a PlayStation. But come get your PlayStation. After that, don't come back. Don't talk to me no more, nothing. We're done, right? I was like, yeah, I'm getting like tired, but like not tired, but like whatever. So anyway, I'm like, after that, no, don't talk to me no more. Okay, we're done. So I'm like, okay, right? Come get your stuff. So he comes, he gets the stuff, and he runs to the door and he tries to get it or whatever. And he's like, look, I got my wife on FaceTime. Look, she wanted to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, what the heck? So she's like talking to me or whatever. She's like, hi, Elisa. Like, she knew my name and everything. And she's like, I just want to talk to you and I want to let you know that, you know, his name, I'm going to say his name is F still, so I can't really come up with another name than these letters, you know. But there's basically she was like, oh, I just want to let you know he's single, he is not married, anymore, or we're divorcing, we're separated right now. She was telling me how she had a boyfriend too, and that, like, you know, basically she doesn't care what he does. And I'm like, you know what, I can't, like, I'm not the type of person to date a married man. I'm not the type of person, like, I don't want the karma. I don't want people, like, you know, to attack me that way and just to have that bad karma. Like, I don't date married men. So I was like telling her, like, you know, I definitely don't want her to be mad. Like, I'm not disrespecting her. It's no disrespect to her at all about, you know, anything that has to do with, like, you know, her and her husband and their marriage or anything like that. And she was like, no, it's okay. At least, like, there's no bad karma. I'm not gonna wish evil for you. You know, she's not mad. And that basically that they're both separated. They're not married anymore. They are getting a divorce. And that basically she has a boyfriend too. Like, she basically has her own boyfriend too. So she's like, okay. She's like, you know, I just don't want any problems with anybody, you know, but thank you for clearing that up, right? She's like, yeah, okay, of course. Yeah, she's not mad or anything. Great. You know, they hang up the phone, and then I give him the phone back. He hangs up the phone. Then he's like, see, I told you we're not married no more. We're getting a divorce. We're basically separated. She don't care what I do. I was like, well, what happened? Like, why you didn't tell me this in the beginning? And then, like, what happened? And he was telling me, he started saying, like, he was mad because he basically ruined his marriage for this other girl that's from the region. But she was from, like, Alabama, I think. She was from Alabama. So basically he ruined his marriage for somebody from Alabama, this girl he was dating. And basically he was cheating on his wife with her. And basically he thinks that she tried to trap him. He thinks that he used to say that, like, she tried to trap him into, you know, being a family with him because he was already married and he really didn't want to leave his wife at first. So it was kind of hard for him because he didn't want to leave her at first, but she didn't want to deal with him after he got another girl pregnant. So basically the girl ended up getting pregnant. So that's how he got his side chick pregnant, because she ended up being pregnant or whatever. And he was so mad. He always hated her for that, like, because she ruined his marriage. But I don't know. Like, I don't really know if that's how he feels. Like, he would always say, like, he loved his wife the most, like, the one he was married to the most. But I don't know if he liked her, because in the end, like, okay, he wasn't claiming her baby for a long time. And I basically had to tell him, like, you got to get a paternity test, which, you know, I guess I'm kind of skipping ahead, but whatever. Let's just say this real quick. So I always told him, like, you got to get a paternity test. You basically have to get a paternity test. You have to find out that that's your baby or not. Because when you find out if that baby is your baby or not, I'm stumbling over my words, sorry y'all. But when you find out if that baby is yours or not, like, you can get that closure, like, you know, of the situation, and then kind of move on with your life after that, besides, like, living in your mistake of you not wanting to be a family with this girl and you feeling like she tried to trap you and trick you into being a family with her, which is what the things that he used to say back then, which I don't know if it's true all the way, because he used to be drunk a lot, you know, so he could have tried to purposely build a family with her and maybe just didn't remember. But I don't know. I don't want to talk about other people's personal lives, even though he normally would tell me that I could. Like, he would talk to me about it and ask me for advice. So, you know, I could kind of back then. So why can't I say it now? I told y'all he passed away already. So he can't really say anything. But, I mean, back when he was alive, he didn't care. So why can't I say it now? Anyway, so basically, yeah, that's what happened. What else I'm trying to say? Yeah, so he ended up getting her pregnant and it ruined his marriage, and that's why they were getting a divorce, because that lady was mean. She was the meanest one. She was so mean, and they all were older than me, right? She was so mean. She cursed me out one day, and I know she was blowing up his phone, cursing out his wife too, because he was saying stuff how he felt trapped by her, like she wanted to be a family, but he already had one, so he was kind of mad that she was bothering him or something like that. And it was weird because she was cursing me out. So I know she was blowing up his phone. she was like doing stuff like that. And she cursed me out and did not care. You know, was mad at me, and I'm trying to help her. She called me all types of bitches in the text messages, and he showed me too. So, you know, it is what it is. He showed me. I didn't get mad. I was just like, whatever. I don't know her. You know, me and her don't know each other. So that's why, you know, she's like, you dated my baby daddy. I'm trying to help him get a paternity test because he keeps saying the baby's not his, you know? I'm like, you can't do that. You can't just say it because you laid down with her, though, you know? So it's a possibility for the baby to be yours. And basically, the DNA test results did come back that it was his baby, basically. It was still his baby. So he did try to apologize and make an effort to be a father at that point when the baby had, you know, was already there and they got the DNA test. But hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get back into the story. So I was there with him throughout the whole thing because he was like a person that made me feel better, like being with him it made me feel better. And it was so hard because he was the closest to my dream man. He was. Even our relationship, it was like the closest to that. Like, he was there. He asked me to be his girlfriend. He asked me about kids. He asked me if I wanted to marry him one day. And I told you how he ended up proposing to me. Well, this is how it happened. So later on, after we had spent all that time and I kind of helped him through his drama with his baby mom, and then giving him advice and closure and helping him get closure with his marriage with his wife, or the separation or whatever, which is why I said no to his marriage proposal, because I was helping him with these things, and these were things that were important to him still, you know, especially his wife. Like, and I'll, you know, get to it in a minute, but like why I'm saying that. But I'll tell you like how he proposed first, and then I'll get into that because it has to do with it. So basically he proposed like after he asked me to be his girlfriend. We, you know, was dating for a while. Then he asked me like, how do I feel about babies or whatever, kids? And he would always say like, oh, we would have pretty babies, at least like our babies would be so pretty, because he has blue eyes and I have blonde hair. But my hair is streaky a little bit. But that's one of my favorite things about him, is that he noticed these things. Like, he would have noticed that about me, you know, and he pays attention to me to notice it. And I've had friends that notice that about me, and people be hating and being jealous of that. And especially for me having streaky hair, a lot of people do like to find ways to be inappropriate still instead of being respectful. But why would I lie about something like that, you know? But like, whatever. So it's something that he noticed, and I thought that was so beautiful. And that's why I said he's like really close to my dream man, because he notices things about me. Like, besides him caring about me and opening doors for me and paying for my food when we go out. He even took me on a date before, but I actually forget. Like, I think I forgot like where, but he took me on a date before. What else? He would tell on my friend. So later on, the same friend that told me he was married, he kind of told me to beware of her and watch out for her, because he thinks that she tried to make a pass at him once or something like that. And he was often drunk, so because he had a drinking problem a little bit. But it was weird because it was plausible, you know, because she's a fake friend. And I know one time when we were kids in high school, she was mad because she tried to sabotage me. Brandon, and, you know, trying to be pretty and being girly in high school, she tried to sabotage me. And basically her curse fell back on her, because I could basically still take her man even if I was sabotaged. Like, her boyfriend came once to me in high school, and he definitely tried to kiss me, and it was like really weird. So I know she would have did it, and I forgot, like, don't be around those people after that. Like, you can't be around somebody like that, because they will attack you. They will want revenge. And I kind of just forgot, you know. So I know she probably did it. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, so he used to say that, like, he would try to be nasty with me too. Like, he would try to be real nasty with me, like, because I think we were all in Georgia once, and we were at her cousin's house in Georgia. She had an apartment in Georgia, and he was like, say, like, let me, like, you know, have sex with you here in her family's house. Like, he would try to defile other girls for me, to hurt them for me, to show me that he liked me more. Like, you know, let us have, you know, do stuff or have sex in his in her basically in her cousin's house or whatever, which I don't know, because he does get drunk a lot. So I'm like, did he slip up and kind of was like giving her attention and then tried to stay, you know? But I think I was always there at night, so it was no time for that, you know, that, because she's, you know, basically I was always there at night. But I don't know if it was like, okay, he slipped up and he just was like, okay, so if she ever says anything, like, well, I defiled her for you because I asked to have sex with you in her cousin's house or something like that. But I don't know, it was really weird. So basically, like, we were maybe the closest though, but we were the closest. So I just want that to be clear. Like, we were the closest. Like, people get confused because I don't really always talk about who I'm dating and stuff like that, and share that with y'all, because I just think that, you know, no offense, but I think some people are strangers, and I don't really want to share my personal business with no strangers. And people be preying on me and trying to stalk me through people and bother me and all that stuff. And I don't want people doing that through people I'm dating, and especially if it's not serious, just in case the person's not there for the pure not for the pure intentions, for the right reasons, or having pure intentions. Like, I definitely don't want, you know, to introduce everybody to my social media, you know, because I just don't think that that's just appropriate. So that's why I don't share who I be dating all the time or who I'm dating. I want to say, okay, back to what I was saying. So how he proposed to me. So basically, I told y'all he asked me to be his girlfriend. He said that basically he started trying to talk to me about kids. Like, how do you feel about kids? We would have a pretty baby because he has blue eyes and I have blonde hair. And he said he noticed that about me. And that's something that he just basically noticed or whatever, which is probably my body hair, because I used to forget to shave my arms. So you can notice like, okay, my body hair, but you also can notice maybe my front hairs, like my baby hairs, if my hair was like growing back in. Basically, you could just probably notice. Like, he basically noticed. And he's not the only person that noticed. I've had friends that noticed before, but whatever, you know, etc. So, back what I was saying. So he did that, and that's something I loved about him. So he asked me for kids. He asked me what I felt about it, you know. And I just said what I said. Like, I don't know. It was weird. I was doubting in my faith, and he was so close to my dream man, and he wasn't scared of my stalker.
Pick a bitch up with a Draco.
I got to get, you know, live a normal life again. I finally got to date a man that acts like a man for the first time, and it was hard for me to let him go. It was, and that's what leads to why I said no to the marriage proposal. So it kind of ended up being hard for me to say no, because I didn't think that I was going to find somebody else that, you know, would be a person to let me have a normal life still, and also to, you know, just be there for me and kind of just be more like a man that I want, if that makes sense. So I kind of like, you know, it was hard for me to say no, but I did not think we were married, and I didn't want to have kids with a man I wasn't married to, like with a ceremony, crossing the altar, married type thing. Not people thinking that way, you know, about me, but like having the actual ceremony. I didn't want to be, you know, having kids with people I'm not married to, like across the altar type thing and having the ceremony. So that's why I was like really skeptical about that. And I was just like, what? Oh, okay. Like I kind of just brushed it off. But later on, a couple months later, he did ask me, and he was like, I'm thinking about proposing to you, Elisa. What do you think you're going to say? And I'm like, what? This man just said he's going to propose to me. So I was like, oh my God. Like, I was so happy, but I also was like in shock. Like, it was a small feeling that was like, this is not right, you know? It's not right. It's like something's off, right? And I was telling him, because I'm like, oh my God, like people would love, okay, everyone wants to get married to someone and be proposed to, and then he's really close to my dream man. Like everything on my list for my dream man, he was very close to it, even in personality. Like people think it's just his look, like she likes his look, he's so cute, whatever, they're jealous of me, but like it's not just his look, like even his personality, it was everything I ever wanted in a man for the most part. But I'm a different type of person, so I write visions for stuff. And I told y'all that scripture before in a different video. That's Habakkuk 2:2. But anyway, I write visions for things. So I have different versions of my dream man. There's different versions of them. He was just one of the versions of one of my dream man. So I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't tell. It was so hard to say no. But I had to do the right thing. I had to pray. I had to pray and I had to do the right thing, because after I got attacked by my stalker, and I don't keep saying that, it was hard for me to let him go, because I got to live like a normal life with a person and date a man that acts like a man and that doesn't look up to him inappropriately, you know? So it was kind of hard to let him go. That's one reason. The second reason, the second thing I'm trying to say is I actually ended up saying no, right? I said no to the marriage proposal. I ended up saying no. It was hard for me to do. It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. But I had to say no, because I knew deep down in my heart that he still was in love with someone else. Because before that, we talked about how his divorce was almost settled, and he basically was, you know, doing the settlement of his divorce. And during the settlement, he was going to give his wife everything, including his family house that was passed down from generation to generation, and the one I've been to, right? So that was a gift from his family, and he was going to give it to his wife that he was married to, and not me. So my kids weren't getting an inheritance, like basically. So that means my kids are the Ishmael kids, because my kids don't get an inheritance. Like he cared more about those kids, and that's fine. Like I don't care that he cared about those kids, because he was married to this person. They did have the ceremony, like I was saying, like people having a ceremony, like that's something that's sacred. He did have a ceremony, and you know that's him saying that he meant it when he did make those vows that he wanted to give her his family heirlooms and stuff like that. So I had to respect that, and then I had to choose not to be selfish in that moment. And this, you know, is my story. This is not like, has nothing to do with anybody else. But I had to choose not to be selfish, and I had to I had to be a good person for him and be thankful for the times he gave me and the peace I had away from my attackers with him by letting him go and getting married, and then praying to have a solid foundation myself, and eventually being able to cross the altar with a man that treats me like a woman and acts like a man to me, and just in general, and respects me and cares about me and loves me. And I had to believe in God that even though this man wasn't my husband, but was very close, that he would actually send me an actual husband, or a man that treats me like a wife, shields and protects me like a husband does for his wife, provides for me like a husband does for his for his wife only. So provides for me like a husband does for his wife, takes care of me like a husband does for his wife. I am not his enemy because we are on the same side, like a husband does for his wife. So it doesn't try to compete against me inappropriately or put me in bad predicaments, sabotaging me for other women, preying on me for other women. Someone like that. So I'm like, okay, I need to wait. So I'm not selfish. Wait and pray for God to send me a man that has all the qualities I want. And I had to go in faith. I still used to cry, like, was I married to him? Because he died. I used to cry, like, randomly, like, was I married to him? I don't think I was, though. And I was saying because I had a stalker before. And in the South, it's different because people are crazy down there, you know? So he could have, and this is why I had to be prayerful in this too, and choose myself, is because he could have moved from the altar as we're getting married and secretly still been helping my stalker. And at that time, my stalker got more elaborate and was like, okay, so y'all can start taking her on a date because she's going to notice, or something like that. And then we were supposed to leave right after that because I wasn't from there, and they all could have really attacked me and succeeded. It's just not safe to stay there after I just stayed. So basically, yeah, I kind of regret that, but like, so I needed to leave anyway. And I just had to be more prayerful on that. So that's what happened. That's how I almost got proposed to before, kinda. But then I said no. And he was already married. And he had a side chick. But also I'm going to say this other thing. So the other reason, okay, so basically after that, we ended up breaking up. And it was really hard for me to kind of let him go, because I actually was almost like, you know, how when people are like grabbing things, like I was like, I don't know. It was hard. I had to really believe and pray or whatever. But basically I ended up letting him go. We broke up as well, and I planned to move back to, well, I planned to either move to Georgia, also move to Atlanta, or I was gonna move to the city, basically back home to the West Coast. Which I ended up moving back home to the West Coast because I had to realize, and I kind of brushed off me getting attacked by those people who were attacking me, from my stalker and my stalker attacking me. I kind of brushed it off, like, oh, it's okay. Maybe I'm just, being dramatic, imagining things, but actually I wasn't being dramatic, and it was inappropriate. And it was also just inappropriate after that for me to stay in an area that I'm not from after I got attacked. But by him. So, and in that way, so I ended up, just leaving. And yeah, that's basically what happened. I did leave, and it was so sad because like a year later he basically died, and I heard that he died from these girls I used to hang out with. So it was like very, very sad. And I never forgave him. Like, so no, I didn't tell y'all this. So he texts me when I'm back home in the West Coast, and he wants to talk to me. And he's like, okay, why don't you want to get married to me? Like, he keeps asking me, like, why don't you want to get married? Like, I want to get married. And I'm like, I don't want to get married. Like, I don't think you love me. Like, you don't really love me. Like, you're still in love with someone else. Like, I be helping you with your wife and everything. Like, you said you was going to give her the inheritance, or your family heirlooms, like in your divorce settlement, like you're still in love with her, like you don't love me. Like, I don't think you don't really want to get married to me. Like, you're just saying this. He's like, no, I mean it, girl. I want to marry you. I swear. I was like, I don't think you mean this. Like, you don't mean it. And basically he was like, whatever. I was like, I can't accept your marriage. He was like, I can't accept it. And he was like, all right, fine, whatever. And then I don't know what happened. We somehow stopped talking, because I don't know why I didn't follow him on social media anymore. Like, I didn't follow him on social media anymore. And it was so sad, because when I found out he was dead, I was so sad. Like, I think I was very depressed for a season, because he was kind of like my first real mature relationship. I was depressed, and then I was sad, and I don't know if he called me a bitch or something, if that's why I didn't, we weren't following each other on social media. But I tried to follow him back on Instagram, because I didn't believe my friend telling me that he was dead. I didn't believe it. So I tried to follow him back on Instagram, and he never answered my follow requests. So I knew he was dead then. So it was sad. It was very sad. I was very sad for a long time, because that was really my first mature relationship, and he was almost my dream man. He almost had every quality that I wanted in a man, like every quality, like including in personality. People think it's just his look, like they think it's his look, it's his eyes, it's that. Like, it's not his eyes. Even his personality is everything I ever wanted in a man and in a relationship and in a husband, you know, except he only had a few bad qualities. Like, he gets drunk a lot. That was his bad quality, that he be drunk a lot. His bad quality is that he be getting drunk a lot. His bad quality, I don't know. He had a few qualities that was my preference. I do like city boys. It's hard for people to understand this, because it really has to do with me being a city girl. He's not really from the South fully. He's from the Midwest. But because people consider your birthplace to be where you're from. So his birthplace is the Midwest. So that's where he would technically be from. So he's not really from the South, fully. But he had a really thick Southern accent. It was very thick. But I think he spent a lot of time there when he was a kid. So that's why his accent was still thick. He had some small qualities that wasn't everything. Because I do like city boys. I do like me some city boys still. Even if I, liked him. But so that was that. That's one. Two, what's my other reason why he wasn't everything I wanted? He was very close though. He was very, very close. He got drunk a lot. And I think he cheated on me before. I think he did. I never caught him, but I think he cheated on me before. But with his baby mothers though, I feel like he mostly cheated on me with his baby mothers. Like, he didn't cheat on me with any other people really, I don't think. He could have though. But he mostly cheated on me with his baby moms. But I couldn't tell though. You know what I'm saying? Back then I was a teenager. I was crazy back then. Like, if I couldn't tell that he cheated, like he don't come home smelling like perfume, I wouldn't have been mad, But I think he did. I think he's cheated on me with his baby mothers before, both of them. So his ex-wife and his baby mom, because they were barely divorced, really. I found that out later, later that they actually were barely divorced. So I think he cheated on me with her, and then his baby mother, when he found out the DNA test came back, he started spending more time with her and the kid. One day he got drunk and couldn't drive. He got drunk, he couldn't drive, and he spent the night there. And I was just so young and happy that I was with somebody that, was nice to me, that I did not really care or say anything. I was just whatever, but I did kind of secretly, I almost started cheating on him too. I almost did. I didn't have sex with anybody or kiss, but I kind of would let guys take me out, hold my hand, I would sit on guys' laps, dance on guys at parties. I would still do stuff like that. But I didn't have sex with anybody, so I almost started cheating on him too. But I think he did, but he barely, he barely was a bad guy to me. So maybe that too, loyalty, because back then, I feel like I would have wanted to be more upset. I would have wanted to be upset by a guy cheating on me, if that makes sense. And kind of to be more sad about it. I wasn't sad about it, but I know I was numb from what I went through before that I was just maybe grateful that someone was being nice to me, that I maybe didn't really fully process that, okay, he just said he spent the night at his baby mother's house type thing. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. So, I don't know. I was dumb, but I forgave him for that. And it was stuff like that too. I think that's why I also said no to his marriage proposal. You also spend the night at your baby mother's house. I think I suppressed it. I was not paying attention. I suppressed this. So I didn't, because of everything I was going through, I did not go off on him. No, that girl don't even like me. She would call me all types of bitches. I can't tell him to drink and drive though. I can't tell him to do that either. So that's why I was whatever. But basically, I don't know. he did miss some qualities. He had most of the qualities. My dream husband, he kind of had like 9 out of 10. Like I would rate him a 9 out of 10 in look and personality for him being close to my dream husband. 9 out of 10, and that's really close. So it's not a complete 10, but it's 9 out of 10. Like he's really close, and this is like looks and personality. But like again, like he wasn't a city boy, so I wouldn't want to date a city boy. Sorry, y'all. I don't want to take out my tingles. I'm out here. Anyway, so he wasn't a city boy. That's one reason. The second reason, he wasn't a city boy. He had a thick accent. He cheated because he spent the night at his baby mother's house, and he still was in love with other people. He did pick my birthday the first year. That's you. The second year, it was so nice. He really made it up to me though. I don't make this video so long. I'm almost done talking. But it was so nice. He kind of like, he bought me a section at a club, and he bought my way into a club for me and my friends in Georgia and Atlanta. So it was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with him. He really is one of my favorite guys I ever dated. He actually is my favorite guy I've ever dated. Besides my real husband, he's gonna probably always be my favorite. I think some of those conversations are simple. Like you can't have a favorite guy that you dated from your past. Like that's wrong, you know. But people be trying to trick me into it because I'm not married yet. Apparently I look weird, and I don't want to say the G word, like gay or whatever, because I don't share my personal life and I don't have a husband and kids yet. But I went through something traumatizing. I opened up to y'all and I tell everybody how I went through something traumatizing. So that's why my life is not like a normal person. Like I didn't get to live life like a normal person. That's why it was hard for me to let him go, because he was kind of like my hope, so I could, but I knew I had to be religious and living life like a normal person after I got attacked like that. Because I wasn't from there, so everyone was like saying like that creepy stuff, like no one's gonna ever believe you, no one cares, like, you know, trying to scare me. So yeah, it's just something's gonna be different, especially, you know, getting attacked by someone like that. So it was scary. It was definitely scary, and yeah, it was hard to let him go, but I did end up having to let him go. I was very depressed for a while too, because I did not think the Lord, I was doubting like the Lord was going to ever be able to give me somebody that, you know, I liked too. That was something that, you know, something I liked too. So it was kind of hard to go through, but I'm still believing in God. I'm going in faith, and I've always been married and have kids. So that's something I'm very sad about. For me to get attacked by someone that wasn't serious and being messy and flirtatious and just not a good person to me in general, it was kind of hard for me to go through that, because I've actually always wanted to be married and have kids. It's something that I've always dreamed about. Again, also it was hard to let go of other people because I was close to having that. But it is what it is. I know I did the right thing, and ultimately I prayed about it, and the Lord was kind of like encouraging me and kind of making sure like I stay upbeat and not depressed about this everything. But yeah, I think that's like the whole story. I don't know. I think that's it for the story time. I hope it made sense to y'all. Like, I just kind of want to get this off my chest because everyone remembers me dating him. Like, a lot of people remember me dating him in real life, and they were so jealous of me. And I just want to make it clear, like, I liked him for more than just his looks. Like, people like his look and they get jealous. Like, he's good looking. He was so jealous of me, and, you know, knowing I was getting attacked, it was funny to prey on me and kind of like try to scare me by helping my attacker or whatever. But I liked him for many different reasons. We actually were very close. He doesn't really care about the strip clubs. He's more of the marrying type of guy. I think the idea behind it is that people don't like to share women because you have to share those women or whatever. And I'm not judging people because I've done adult entertainment before, which I never told him. I've always never told him nothing like that, which is, I just want to make clear, I've never told him I've done adult entertainment before or anything like that. I don't think I did it around him even, but I also just never told him that. So it isn't something that like I did, you know, to get him or whatever, saying that I did adult entertainment or that I even, you know, modeled or did anything. It's not true. And I just want to make that clear. But yeah, he just doesn't like people like that. Some guys don't really like people like that, you know, being a marrying type, etc. You have to share these women, etc. So I just want to clear that up. And also I liked him more than just for his look. I liked him for his personality, the fact that he asked me to be his girlfriend, the fact that he asked to marry me, the fact that he asked me for kids, the fact that he's a marrying type, so he proposed to me even, or asked me like what was I going to say to getting married. And again, I told you guys, like, he asked me basically twice, like, saying that he wanted to get married. And I was like, no, you're lying. You don't love me. You're in love with other people. And that was so crazy. That's the last thing we said to each other. The last thing I told him, I was so sad about that. The last thing I told him is that I didn't want to get married to him. But it is what it is. Like, it's not anything like I did to hurt him. I can't judge him for like our last conversation because he ultimately was still a friend. But at the same time, he wasn't always the best friend to me. Like, we were on and off. One season when I didn't know how to drive, he kind of just didn't mean to me. Like, he just didn't mean, like, I don't know if it was a coincidence or was he being mean to me for that reason. But at the same time, I think, like, he could have did something mean to me. I don't want to say it fully, but it was something like me not knowing how to drive. And then he, like, we were off for that season. Like, he had an attitude or something. We broke up. Then it was like something really weird, you know, and I'm just like, oh, that's not being there no matter what. But he's been there for me without a car. Like, he picked me up from the airport when I got to school, so I didn't notice, like, oh, is this because I didn't know how to drive yet? And he was getting tired of me being childish and I know how to drive. But I'm like, you know, and I ended up learning how to drive myself and teaching myself how to drive, and then we ended up getting back together, but like a little bit after that. But it was kind of weird. It was very weird. So I don't know. He's done things though. He's done things like not being a friend, and that's something my real husband can be greater than, like, you know, always being there for me, being loyal. If he's never cheated, like, you know, being a person never cheated, us being closer, you know, because I think he just want to get married for show. So like us being closer and stuff like that. Like, that guy wanted to get married for show. Yeah, stuff like that. So it was ways that, like, my real husband could still beat him out, and I definitely pray about it and put scriptures in between. And I don't know, I do like city boys, so my type could be something different. And I would say it differently because I want to go to the South to meet a Southern gentleman, which I never met. I ran into a bunch of criminals that tried to attach themselves to me, so I did try to go to the South to meet a Southern gentleman. But so then I ended up getting attacked, and I just realized I do like city people because I'm a city person. So it's like a solid foundation thing. Like, I'm a city person, so I actually just like city people still because that's how I act in personality. I talk fast. I like, you know, things not to be drawn out. Like, I like things to kind of just be like, you know, cut and dry, if that makes sense. I'm just like not the type of person. Like, some of this stuff, the stuff that, you know, people do in their regions, I'm just like not the type of person. So, you know, that's why I kind of think I just prefer to be a city person still. What else? I want to just talk about this too. So he had money, right? So I told y'all he died because his friend robbed him or whatever. So he had money, and I was always scared to talk about him because, you know, people be dying or whatever. The girlfriends be dying too. But we broke up, and, you know, his friend killed him, so they know that we weren't together or whatever. But he had money. He had this nice luxury car. It was a cute little convertible. And I think it was a Mustang convertible, but it was like really nice, and it was silver. I used to love that car. We used to always ride around with the top down, having so much fun. So I just had a lot of fun. It was a nice car and a nice experience. What else? He also had a lot of money, so he had like enough money to take pictures with like a money phone. Apparently, he said he wants some slip and fall lawsuit or something. That's how he got money. But people say he was kind of bad. He was street. He was hood. You never know what like a hood is kind of into, because he's more like that. Even though he looks mixed, and that's one thing I really like about him. That's what's on my list. Even though he looked mixed, he acted very black still. And he always wanted to be man, like a man still, or manly. So he desired to be the man still, even if he had different features, was light-skinned, blue-eyed. He still wanted to be manly, and he also still acted black. So that's one of my like things on my list of guys that I liked or whatever. So I did like that about him. So that's also one of the things I really liked about him, is that he wasn't being feminine or trying to hide behind me. He really just, like, you know, was still a man in that way. And people did definitely give him attention for having different features or having, you know, light eyes. He still got that type of attention, but he just didn't, you know, become feminine with it. So I did like that about him too. I just want to address like a few of these things. What else? I think that's it. Oh, he had money. So yeah, he had enough money to take like a money phone picture. You know, people take pictures. Anyway, he had a stack of money that was like this tall. So, and he would have it with him in his car, and he would be taking pictures, flexing with it. And I'd be like, stop flexing with your money, and get robbed. And he would not listen to me, and he would still do it or whatever. And he used to be for people over the money. Then basically, I used to want to take pictures because I was in my modeling bag like this. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to take pictures of money too, because I could have my nails done. I could have my nails done on the money. I could take pictures of the money, smiling like, yeah, I'm dating a man, I got money, blah, blah, blah. You know, people be taking those pictures that be trending, or, you know, just to take one of those type of pictures. I'm like, I want to take money, but I don't know. Something in me told me, don't take pictures with this money. Like, don't take pictures with this money. It's cursed money. I should have, like, I don't know. It was something in me telling me not to take pictures with his money for some reason. And guess what? He died. Yeah. So he ended up dying. So I'm not crazy, but I wasn't wrong. That must have been discernment. Cause I'm like, what if he gets robbed for this money? Because he said a slip and fall. But people keep saying he's a street hitter. Like, basically, I wouldn't know what he was into. And I want to address that too, because people was like trying to drag me into it, say I knew exactly what he was into. I didn't know what he was into. You know, I'm not no snitch or whatever. And I don't know nothing, because I always tell him and other people, like, don't be telling me nothing. But I also don't have nothing in my house, so the police have to be kicking down my door. It ain't nothing, so it could be nothing here, right? They're gonna be kicking down my door, so I wasn't involved. Anything that was illegal, if he was doing something illegal, if he was, because I don't know, I was not involved. They're not about to be kicking down my door, so I didn't let him bring nothing like that in my house. But also, I didn't really want to know, so I wasn't a witness. You know, people try to kill people sometimes. Like, you know, when you tell people stuff, then she's a witness, and they try to kill the person. Like, I don't know nothing. I'm not even a witness. You don't even need to tell me unless it's an emergency, so I'm not a witness. And I don't know, I just didn't trust people after what I got, you know, everything that happened to me. The first time that I didn't want him to tell me those type of things, it opened up to me that way, because I didn't want to be involved if something went left and then I'm dying too. You know, very scared, because there's many different ways where I could have died too. And I didn't want to be a bad friend to him. I just was scared because I went through other stuff, and I really go through a lot of stuff where I don't feel like I can trust people. So I didn't want to go that, you know, to that. I didn't want to have that experience with him, and then especially for him not to be a good person to me. I'm dying for this man that don't even care about me. Like, I didn't want to die for somebody that didn't care about me. So I did try to defend my body as much as I could, and I also didn't want to go to jail for a man that didn't care about me. So I told him, like, don't be bringing that shit in my house. I don't want to hear it. Don't even tell me, so I don't have to, you know, be a person that gotta die for knowing something, you know. Definitely my piece of cues, but I do want to be closer with somebody in the future. And it's not his fault. I mean, technically I almost could have died, you know what I'm saying? Because he did die. But off of some street stuff, but I think they tried to steal the money. They said the money, they basically tried to rob him for the money. It was like drugs or anything. But I would have wanted to, moving forward, I would want to be closer with somebody, you know, where I kind of could open up to the point where I don't entrust them, to the point where I feel like I would want to die with them, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't want to die with him because I didn't trust nobody, and I didn't think we were married because he still was in love with somebody else, you know. I'm helping him with his wife, so, you know, whatever. And he bought her stuff. I'm gonna tell this the last part, then I'm almost done with this video. And he bought her stuff too. He used to buy her shoes randomly. If she needs shoes for work, he would buy her whatever she needed. He never bought me nothing. I'm like, only thing he bought me was my little section for, you know, for my birthday at the club, because I was mad at him and I wasn't gonna talk to him if he didn't apologize for that. That's the only thing he bought me. Like, what? I'm saying, that's why I be saying, like, he still was in love with somebody else. Like, no, like, that's wrong. He's like, you never asked. I'm like, what? I should have never had to. You should have just did it. Like, if you bought her something, you should have bought me something, because you know I was going to complain. Like, because I mean, at the same time, like, he could buy his baby mom some shoes to go to work if she needs shoes for work or whatever. Like, that's wrong. Like, he could buy that for her to help out, is to take care of their kids. But, you know, he could have bought me something too. But also, I do think that they just were in love still. So that's also too. I just want to say that and tell that story. I don't think I have nothing else to say. He did have money. He did die. I knew nothing about anything in the streets. I didn't know anything about it. I'm just not the type of person. I get a little bit squeamish, and I'm not, you know, trying to get attacked or in trouble for anybody. Everything I had went through, I wasn't really trusting people and opening up fully. So I kind of just didn't do that with him. And good thing though, a little bit, because then I would have died, and I wouldn't have known if he really cared about me or had pure intentions. I mean, I prayed about it, and I know the Lord was saying, like, he didn't mean to scare me. Like, he felt trapped by the second baby mom. But I don't know though, because you know, you only hear in part. So I don't know what she named that baby. He wasn't there and he didn't claim the baby the whole time until I told him to get the DNA test after the baby was already there. So I don't know if they had some type of weird bond where, you know, he ended up naming the baby after him, or she named the baby after him. She named the baby after him. And then, you know, they somehow were still married, but he wasn't there the whole time. It was weird. I don't know. It really seemed like he's married, that he really like likes his, I'm not gonna say married to, because I don't want to be, you know, minding other people's business. Like, I've been asking people not to mind mine. But I think he really cared about his first wife the most, because she was getting an inheritance, and that's just really what I think it is. But I don't know. I'm going to mind my own business again. Yeah, but yeah, that's what happened. I definitely told y'all everything now, I think. I told y'all how he had money and stuff, etc. So yeah, that's basically what happened. And this is just like basically that story time. I just want to get off my chest, let y'all know. If y'all ever seen him on my social media, he was on my social media before. If you ever heard of me dating him or seen that I was dating him back then, if you were around or have heard about it, because I know people were talking about it like, oh, they're jealous of me, he's cute, blah blah blah. That's the story, and that's why I liked him. It's more than just his looks, etc. It's his personality too. Yeah, so basically that's it. And again, also, so no one calls me gay, even though I think so that's simple. People I didn't walk across the altar with, but he was my most serious relationship. We were the most mature, the most adult relationship. We were together for 2 years almost. He was basically my most mature and adult relationship, and also my most serious relationship, because we almost got married. And he also is my favorite ex. If people have favorite exes or are allowed to have one, so I don't look gay, so I'm not married, he would be my favorite ex. Yeah, and basically that's just that. And I'm not trying to say this to hurt anybody or to be mean. He just was. We were just closer and we spent more time together. We just liked each other more, and that's just what it is. Even though, again, I think this is simple. I'm not going to say this ever, ever, ever again, because that's simple. I only want the person I'm walking across the altar with to feel special. So I'm not going to ever say that again. And I'm just a religious person. I'm not gay. No one's going to trick me into saying things that are simple moving forward. But yes, I do want to say that I have had different experiences with other men, and, you know, experienced more mature relationships still, but just differently. And again, he was my favorite one, but he was married. I'm more of a religious person. I will let you marry the person you want to marry. Not like, you know, you trying to swindle. What is a swindle? Or kind of just cling to people inappropriately. So that's why I did not get married to him. Yeah, basically that's what happened. And yeah, that's basically the end of this video, y'all. I don't know if my hair look crazy, because I've been kind of trying to heal my hair a little bit, but I didn't want to wear my hair out for some weird reason. I just kind of felt like it, so that's why I have. But yeah, if you guys like videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.